All right, it worked. Okay. Ubin Nefer, Uja, Good Rising, Great Awakenings. Ubin Nefer is the Neterian term for good rising. Why do I say good rising? Because God is good. I don't use that term God, but God is good. So when I say good rising, I mean gods and goddesses are rising. People are rising in their consciousness and awareness of their divinity. My name is Tachia Amet El Ma'at, aka Arit Neteres Meri Ma'ati. I'm here on TikTok and YouTube. So I'm talking to both of you like we're at a presentation and I'm looking across the room. Yes, so my name is Tachia. I'm a musician, sound healer, herbalist, yoga instructor, candle maker, pendulum reader, swimmer, biker, jogger. And I'm currently living in Chicago, Illinois. I'm living in this wonderful building that I inherited that is being transformed into the Living Wellness Center, Osmataji Temple, Divine Light Healing Sweet Sound, and Ellis Avenue Studios. And on Thursdays, we talk about, can't see the book. We talk about different aspects of the Neterian practice. What is a Neterian practice? A Neterian is someone who follows the Neters. What Neters? Cosmic forces of nature, gods and goddesses. And we're learning how to use the cosmic forces to manifest in our lives. I'm not saying that I'm a master of this technique. I'm just talking about technique that was downloaded for me, and I've been advised or instructed to share this information with others. I studied with Dr. Mwada Ashby at EgyptianYoga.com for about 12 years and became one of the temple musicians, temple priestesses. And after my last trip to Kemet, my spirit guides, these are pinhole glasses so I can read the little letters on them right now. My spirit guides ancestors told me that it was time to pause my Kemetic studies and get back to my original research project, which is galactic cultures, Sirius cultures, pyramid cultures of the four directions, and focus on America, North, Central, and South America. This was my original research project. After I withdrew from UT Austin, I was a grad student in galactic astronomy, and then switched over to cultural astronomy. That's when I learned about the Olmec, the Toltec, and eventually I learned about Kemet. And so now the goal and objective of my work is to bring together Eastern and Western Kemet the way in ancient times they brought together Northern and Southern Kemet. Eastern Kemet is Kemet in Egypt, and Western is here in Tameri, Tamerica. Tameri is the Neterian term for America, the Americas. It means beautiful land. So on Tuesdays, we talk about topics of interest to Americans. And Wednesdays, we talk about Wellness Wednesdays. And on Thursdays, we talk about Neterian practices in devotion. And so I'm working up to teaching actual classes. Uja, Great Awakenings, to those of you on YouTube who are tuning in on these topics. I'm going to be doing the Cosmic Adorations, which is devotional services, online services, Cosmic Chimes and Chanting, which is astrology readings through sound healing and the chimes, and then a chant along with the chimes while I'm playing them. I'll be offering sessions of the Spiral Dance Medicine Wheel, which is a Aboriginal or Native American or Indigenous ceremony honoring the four directions, the four elements, the four aspects of being, the four seasons, and the indigenous people of the four directions. According to the Hopi prophecy, we would come together in this time and bring together the teachings, and at this time we would know the truth. Right now we have fragments of the truth, so we put them together, we'll have the truth, and then I believe we'll be able to defeat Western imperialism. So that's why I'm doing this. And on Thursdays, we just talk about these topics. Oh, and then the fourth offering that I'll be making for temple members, virtual temple members, aka subscriptions, is the Aku Sineb, the Tef Neteru Simapout reflective movement meditation system that I learned from Dr. Ashby. However, the Aku Seneb, which means light being wellness, will have different. It's different because instead of just reciting the affirmations or the reflections, we'll be singing them, we'll be chanting them, we'll be speaking them out loud and with rhythm. And then that is a really powerful tool for manifestation. Dr. Ashby describes it as a way to um, recreate the creative process every time you do that. Ucha, good rising. Could you let me know, Awad, are you coming on here to match game or did you want to join in the conversation? And at Aku Seneb, we take it one step further and we begin to use it as a process of manifestation because we're not just recreating what Kepra did when the universe was created. We're creating our own universe. We're creating our own enlightened lifestyle. We're transforming ourselves into God's. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much. It happened so quickly. I don't really know what that purple band was, but I appreciate it. Because and this Dr. Ashley has some amazing books. And one of them, I had the good fortune of taking the class for this book, the Temple of Aset class. I don't know if they're still doing it. I made it to level 8, and then I had to take a pause to figure out what they were teaching me to get understanding. But in this myth, we learned that Goddess Aset began her journey to becoming a goddess as a lady. She was, quote unquote, a human being. She was just, let me see, I'm going to be looking up. She was a human, just like us, just a lady. And she had studied and investigated and explored and became a master of many sciences and practices, including health and healing and engineering, astronomy, astrology, architecture, sacred geometry, business. She had just become an expert in so many areas, and she was bored with life. She's like, there has to be more to life than this. This is not enough for me. I need more. It's too low, too high. She needed more. And so she devised a plan to become the goddess that we know her as today. And she devised this plan and I have to tell the story every time. And I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but it's just so amazing. She devised a plan. She made a sacred serpent called a Tapi Shepsi, made out of the spittle from the sun, like moisture from the sun, or like the dew and dirt. And she made this sacred serpent and she laid it in the path of Ra, because every day he walks across his creation and says, oh, I created the flowers and I created that mountain and I created that tree and I'm so wonderful. I created the waterfall and where in reality, he was not the creator. He is creation. That's another thing that's made very clear in this scripture is Ra is not the creator, he's the creation. Kepri is the creator. We have Kepri, the creator, or the beginning of creation. Ra is creation. He's like the middle of the creation, the midday. And then Temu Ra is the completion. But anyway, so Ra is, he's the creation is another term. And this serpent bit him. And since it was not one that he made, he didn't have the cure. He didn't know how to do himself. And the gods and goddesses, he was like, I've got the fevers and I got the shakes and I got body aches and I have all this inflammation and mucus. And he thought he was going to die. And he called the gods and goddesses to come help him. And when you see them going like this, that means they're crying and their eyes were leaking. And they're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And he said, I don't know. This snake bit me. And they couldn't find the antidote. And they're like, oh no, Ra's dying. The creation's going to end. And then Aset's walking by like, oh, what's the matter, Ra? I got cold. This is so funny. I'm going to have to act it out because it's a comedy story. If you ask me, it's not just a scripture. It's a comedy. Thank you so much. And yes, TikTok is reminding me to remind you, if you're on this live for more than 2 seconds, if you could just tap the screen It really helps. And share it with people. It really helps your content creators, not just me. Anytime you're on someone's live. So she's like, oh, don't worry, Ra. I have the antidote. And if you tell me your name, I'll give you the antidote. Thank you so much. I'll give you the antidote. And he's like, I can't tell you my name. If I tell you my name, you'll have the same power as me. You'll become a god or a goddess, and you'll be able to, make your own creation. She's like, okay, well, if you want to die right now, that's fine with me. I'll just sit here and watch you. And I have an image of it downstairs. Next week, I'll be moving back into the temple space, so I have all my artwork. And he's like, oh, why do you need to know my name? Because if you know someone's name, not like John or Harry or Susie or, Kimoko or Ashwa or whatever, but if you know in a Kemetic name, if you know their name, you know their essence. You can become them. You can become like them. When you know the names of the gods and goddesses, just by saying their names, you activate them within yourself, and you can transform yourself into a god or goddess. So he didn't want her to know his name. He's like, why do you need to know my name? Why do you need to become a goddess? Don't you have the sun? We have the moon. You have the waterfalls. We have beautiful trees. We have delicious fruits and plants and fragrances. I even gave you sex. Why do you need to know my name? And she's like, I want to become a goddess. I don't want to just be a mere mortal. I want to know. I want to be like Ra. And I actually have a song I wrote called Tommy Ra. You can find it on my Bandcamp page. It has yet to be, I haven't put it on Spotify yet. Tommy Ra. And so he's like, I'm fading away. So he's okay, I'll tell you my name. I'll tell you my name. And so he tells her his name, and she becomes one with Ra, and she transforms herself into a goddess. And she leaves very specific instructions for us to transform ourselves. And last week I read the last scripture of this script, the last verse of the scripture, where you can see the vow that Ra made, that anyone who follows her instructions will be able to transform themselves. So I'm going to, before I read from the Neteru, though, I have a chant that I like to offer. So, oh gosh, I didn't bring my drum or my but I did bring this. I lost my main heart, but I have this little one I got from a temple of Neteru, but it's not really tunable. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Someone Om Nebaja Capra Sarom. 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 Yes, that's a chant for Om Nebaja Kapara Asar. Om Nebaja is the one all-encompassing divinity that's actually thinking and breathing this creation. And Kapara is the creator. Asar, Nebaja came forth as Kapara to manifest his creation. And then he came forth as Asar in a human form as the universal soul. So there's official chants you're supposed to recite for the beginning of the Neteru, but when I do these live streams, I was just told to offer that one. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly choose a page or a scripture from this book and just share it with you today, because it's just a wonderful scripture. The Mysteries of Aset and Ra. Section 14. Verse 97, steady of action, wisdom, focus, and nonstop, relentless insistence Anken without stopping her efforts. Okay, so this is about Aset's unending quest to become a goddess. And we need to have the same unending quest, not to give up, not to allow the ego to take over and distract us or dissuade us or discourage us. And I'm talking to myself right now because I'm fighting my egoism this very moment. Really, just I'm fighting my own ego. And if you're on the YouTube channel, the image I put for the thumbnail is the image of Neteru, and I think I can put it on here. I don't know if I can find it that fast. Let me try. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, these programs are not planned. They don't have a, no, it's not there. I'll try to find it for next time. I'll have it next time. Oh, thank you. They're just on the, spontaneous. See, I can put something else interesting back here, though. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Let's see, what can I put back here? I'll put the same one I had yesterday. Yeah, that's the one I had open yesterday. Cosmic forces. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm finding, I'm striving to maintain the vibration in my life where I am approaching the status of god or goddess. I have this little joke tag, the goddess next door, like, yeah, it's a joke. Okay. So I'm going to read the linear hieroglyphs translation, and then the pronunciation of the like the Budge translation, and then Dr. Ashby's translation. Dr. Ashby's translations of the scriptures probably do not match other ones that because the other translators are more on the material realm, and the purpose of Dr. Ashby's work is to lead us to our enlightenment. That's what it's all about. It's not about history. It's not about who came first. It's not about men. It's not about, is it in Africa or is it in the Middle East? It's not about that. It's about obtaining enlightenment. One of the reasons why I had to pause is because his studies are not connected to like current events or politics. I mean, it's against the system, but it's not about people from here who are Aboriginal Americans and the indigenous Aboriginal cultures, like the mound builders and the pyramids in Central and South America. It's not about how they're one culture. And his advice to you is just focus on your enlightenment, so that live your life with Ma'at, so you don't have to come back, and don't really get caught up in politics or current events. And I, being I have indigenous or native roots here, and so that topic is very important to me: sovereignty, freedom, land, and especially defeating Western imperialism. So that's why I had to take a pause, because I had to get firm in that. Okay, but anyway, these teachings will lead you to enlightenment, or as close as you're able to achieve in your, from where you are. You have to, change your diet and develop a spiritual practice. But if you follow the instructions, you can master the cosmic forces of nature. I feel I've come a really long way since I first studied them. But anyway. Jed en Aset en Ra an Ren ke ak ipu. Imna jedu ke ina ajed ke setu ina. Peri ta metut ank zea. Demu te en renef metu jedmu set. Im jedmu sekemu in the air nebau in. And here is Dr. Ashby's translation, saved by my translation. Then Aset said to Ra, In all those things you told me, the whole catalog of things you itemized, I did not hear your name anywhere in those words that you told me. O Ra, I ask thee again to tell me your divine name. The poison is removed and life is restored to a person when they affirm it, when they unequivocally state their name. The poison it burns by means of the burning power of its flames that flare up. Okay, I'm going to go to he has a commentary, a gloss on each verse. And I would like to read that today as well. This is verse 97. Oh, this is an interesting image. It shows the 3 stages of Ra. I was talking about Ra, Kepra, Ra, and Timura. Shows the 3 stages of the day. Oh gosh, there we go. It's a beautiful diagram. Verse 97. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, it's just a translation. He doesn't have the gloss on that one. Okay, great. Okay, so at this point, I would like to offer us another song that I wrote based on this chapter. I've not sang it in a really long time. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if you heard my sob story. On August 12th, someone stole my harp, and I just stopped going live. My spiritual practice just it changed, and I focused more on meditation than the music. So, but I'm looking to get back into it all, even though I don't have the instrument. And I don't have the translation up here. Antek begat ina, anken ina, sefu ina, majet. Antek begat ina, anken ina, sefu ina, majet. Let it go, let it go, let it go, cat. Let it go, let it go, let it go, cat. Let it go, let it go, let it go, cat. Let it go, let it go, let it go, cat. Jedina renake. Jedina renake. Jedina renake. Jedina renake. Ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah, ooh. 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 Gotta do it one more time. Antek begat ina, anken ina, sefu ina, majet. Antek begat ina, anken ina, sefu ina, majet. Let it go, let it go, let it go, cat. Let it go, let it go, let it go, cat. Let it go, let it go, let it go, cat. Let it go, let it go, let it go, cat. Jedina renake. Jedina renake. Jedina renake. Jedina renake. Ooh, how, ooh, how, ooh, how, ooh, how, Ooh, how, how, ooh, how, ooh, how, ooh, how, ooh, how, ooh, how. A tap. Yes, like I said, I've really gotten away from my music devotion. I'm so brokenhearted. But let me give you a brief translation. So, like I said, I made it up to level 8 of the class. And thank you so much. I see some of you are still here. And I hate to keep saying this, but I really would appreciate it if you would just tap the screen. If you could just tap the screen, I would, where is it? Thank you for tapping the screen. There we go. Really appreciate it. So, when I was taking the class, oh, Cinnabar afar. August 1st. Ouch. I don't know what that means, but I guess you'll let me know. What does that mean, Cinnabar afar? So the first part is also when Dr. Ashby was teaching this class, he says if we could do these 4 things, we would have it made in the shade. These 4, it summarizes the teachings from the scripture that I just read from. Verse 97, where was that? For those of you who are just tuning in, I was reading from this book by Dr. Ashby, The Mystery by Set and Ra, about how she lays out the instructions for us to transform ourselves into gods and goddesses, cosmic forces of nature. And that if we follow them, we will transform our lives too. Okay, so Antek Bagag, and so this whole thing was about pursuing without ending, without stopping. And that's basically what it is. Antek Bagag, and Anken Hena, without ceasing, seeking your enlightenment, seeking the divine truth, bringing out your divinity, never stopping, never resting, never giving up, not even taking a break, not even, like if a bird is flying south for the winter, they don't even stop on the branch to take a break. That's what the first line is about. Antek Bagag Hena, Anken Hena. Hena means and. Say fu Hena, Anken, okay? Then the next part is let it go, kak ab. Kak ab is let go of your attachments, let go of your egoism, let go of your materialism, let go of your humanism, not humanity, but let go of just your mundane life. Go to work 9 to 5, pay the bills, come home, pick up the kids, cook dinner, go to sleep, go to the holidays, go to the let go of your attachment to Western imperialism. Decolonize your mind. That's my interpretation of what he says by let it go, cat. But mostly let go of your attachments. Live with detachment. Don't expect rewards. Don't expect people to act a certain way. These are ways to enlighten your heart. And then Jedinah Renake, that's why I was going like this, telling Rod, tell me your divine name. Jedinah Renake is tell me your divine name. That's his actual, that's why I was laughing. That's why I chose this song, because that is the, that's what this whole chapter was about. Tell me your divine name, Jedinah Renake. And then Uau is surrender. Surrender to the divine plan, surrender to the divinity, surrender to the oneness, surrender to gratitude, surrender to Nebuchadnezzar, surrender to your tutelary divinity. It doesn't mean surrender to Western imperialism or to give up, but it just means to just let it go and just let life flow. And when this first song, and I believe you can find a recording of this on my Bandcamp. When this song first came through me, I was singing it every single day, every minute. Because when I hear the song, I hear it with this Afro-Cuban band or salsa band, with like 5 percussionists and upright bass. I have the whole bass, I have the whole thing. And I'm on the keys playing them. And then like a horn section. So it'd be like a comedic salsa song, right? Like, have you heard of one like that before? A Neterian salsa song? No. It's blending the rhythms of Tamari with the Neterian culture. It's, it's not comedic, because I was calling it all comedic, but it's Neterian Oh, it's my Senti Renatries. Do it for being here. Thank you for stopping by. Just running my mouth. On these current live streams, it's not like it was before when I was offering my devotion. These are giving me opportunities to just, engage with people and answer questions. And then in the very near future, I will start the devotion up again. But Renitris is the woman who designed the labels on my salves, my medicinal salves. She's a graphic artist who's, is also a follower of the Neteru. Here's my advertisements. Go to my website, lifebeingwellness.com, and get a jar of the salves. Don't ask me why they're not on our TikTok shop yet, but they will be soon. So anyway, that is a song written from the wisdom teachings of Aset. What is it? The Mysteries of Ra and Aset. Dr. Moana Ashby, EgyptianYoga.com, Kemetic University, Temple of Neteru, Temple of Aset, Sema University. Yeah. Let's see, where are we? Okay. So that is so wonderful to always quote Dr. Ashby's work. So let's see what I want to do right now. Well, speaking of Aset, I guess this isn't a set day. Like I said, I did finish doing some renovations in the temple space downstairs, and after next week, I'll be moving. I'll be moving the live stream back down there with the ambiance. But right now, I just wanted to share this beautiful illustration or papyri. Take it off from Kemet that I purchased of Goddess Aset. Isn't it gorgeous? It's just beautiful. I think you can see it here. And the name of this temple is Asmataji Temple. Asmataji Temple of Divine Light, Healing, and Sweet Sounds. Oh, I didn't tell you something about the label. I wanted you to notice it has two cultures. It has the medicine wheel, representing the medicine wheel garden, and the black cat is Bast. So this is a jar of Basti blend. I can't tell you what Bast is connected to. She's connected to a very powerful healing herb that I cannot talk about online. And then the ones without the Basti blend do not have the cat. She did a great job. But anyway, the name of the temple is Asmataji Temple of Divine Light, Healing, and Sweet Sounds. So As is another way to pronounce Aset. I know people know her as Isis, Aset. There's many ways to spell her name, Auset, Aset, and even Ast, because they didn't have vowels. And then Ma'ati or Ma'at is, of course, Goddess Ma'at. And I have this wonderful poster that I got years ago. You can no longer buy them, but I have a few. If you want to get one, you can get one for me. The only thing I don't like about it is the principles are so small. Somebody my age, you have to get way up. Like you have it on the wall, you can't see it. But it has the 44 affirmations of Ma'at. And I have several songs about Ma'at as well. In fact, I'm about to release. I've been talking about this for over a year. Release my collection of songs for Aset and Ma'at and Amun. And then the last part, Mataji, because it's Ma'at and Mataji. Mataji is a Hindu goddess, a Vedu goddess. Mataji, she's the sister counterpart of Babaji. And when I first started doing yoga, I was practicing Babaji's Kriya Yoga. And I had an experience with Babaji and Mataji. And so even though it's considered a Kemetic temple, I had to pay homage to Mataji because of all the things that happened with her frequency. And now that it's Neterian, I don't even have to worry about it being Kemetic, because in Neterian practice, we follow the Neters, the Neteru, not just the ones from Kemet. So that's the difference there. And I also have this beautiful papyri I received as a gift. It has my Neterian name. Where is it? On there. Arit Neter Esmeri Mati. And it shows, the goddess in you or in me being led by Neteru. Okay. So when I move back downstairs, it'll be easier to show the artwork I have. But Arit Neteru Meri Ma'ati. She who makes offerings to a tutelary divinity, one who is beloved by the dual goddesses of Ma'at. All right, so I thought since we're talking about Ma'at, let's do something different, take a break. Because I've been sitting here for a while. I said I was going to start doing this more often. So I'm going to, what is the difference between Kemetic and Hindu as far as principles to me? I believe the difference for me, because I do practice a little bit of that. In fact, the Akusanet yoga posture system, which Neterian designed that logo as well. I haven't studied with a Hindu master, so I don't know, maybe it does lead to the same. But to me, it seems like you make offerings to the gods and goddesses, and then they do the spiritual work, and we receive the boons or the blessings, right? We give them offerings, we chant, we do the practice, and then the gods and goddesses bestow their blessings upon us. Like Goddess Lakshmi, make offerings to Goddess Lakshmi, you get rewarded with abundance. You make offerings to Muruga, you get rewarded with protection and wisdom and all the other things. And with this Neterian practice that I learned from Seva Ma, I have not studied Kemetic spirituality with any other masters. I've not been drawn to any other schools. But with Dr. Ashby, you make offerings to the gods and goddesses, or you do the yoga postures, or you chant, or the devotion, however you want to make your offerings. You activate these cosmic forces within yourself, and then you make the manifestation. So it's not like make the offering to Goddess Neteru and I will be rewarded with abundance and the beauty path. No, I make offerings to Goddess Neteru, and then I learn how to defeat my egoism. I make offerings to Goddess Aset, the goddess of intuition and divine wisdom, and the power within me is activated to trust my intuition. When I say trust Goddess Aset, stay close to Goddess Aset, that means trust your intuition. To me, that's the difference. I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that helps. The Hindu tradition is a little bit different than the three main religions of Western imperialism, where you give money to the priests or the church or the temple or whatever, and then they go and do whatever they do in private, and then they come and do ceremonies for you. But Dr. Ashby teaches us that those three religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, no matter what you call it, Hebrew, Black Hebrew, Israelite, Nation of Islam, whatever, those are the three religions of Western imperialism. And Dr. Ashby says there's three aspects to a true spirituality. He says religion, but I don't even use that word. It's, I'll see if I can remember. It's the ritual, right? When you you make the offerings, and I'm forgetting the second one. Wait, maybe I'll find it real quick. No. I may not know everything, but I know where to find it. I may not remember everything. I know where to find it. I remember we read from it. Yes, here we go. I found it. See? The myth. Okay. They have the myth, right? They have the story, the cultural legend. That's right. God is within us. And we can activate these cosmic forces of nature, which are aspects of the divinity, aspects of creation. And we can activate them within us, and then we can manifest. God is not a being, it's a vibration, it's an entity, it's an energy, it's existence, it's divine intelligence. And if you're ignorant of the divine, you'll be caught up in materialism. But when you learn how to activate these cosmic forces of nature within you, like you said, God's within, then you become a god or goddess or a cosmic force of nature. You transform yourself into your higher self. So the three aspects of religion is myth, ritual, and mystical. And the three major world religions of Western imperialism only share with you the myth and the ritual. They keep the mysticism for themselves. So that's what separates the three major religions of Western imperialism from indigenous and aboriginal spiritual practices such as Hindu or Aboriginal Turtle Island or even indigenous European, anything that existed before colonization, before the missionaries, before the pirates. That's another place where I differ from other Kemetic practitioners, because they totally discredit the indigenous European experience. They totally discredit the indigenous Native American or Aboriginal American experience. And that's where I differ from them, because any tradition that survived colonialism and Western imperialism is valid. It may be watered down from the Aboriginal version, because I believe that at one time this whole planet was inhabited by Aboriginal melanated Black people. And I don't even use the term Black anymore. And you know how I used to get into arguments with Arabs about original African Egypt was Black. I got like 300,000 views on that video. But nope. So, but the Hindu tradition, the Native American traditions, the indigenous Americas, Tamaricans, and what indigenous or Aboriginal European practices that I have worked with, the mysticism is the most important aspect. The myth and the ritual get you to the level of the mystic. And if your religious practice doesn't empower you to have a mystical experience for yourself anywhere, at home, in nature, at the grocery store, then it's just spiritual enslavement. So I might have gone overboard, but that was such a wonderful question, Renitris. Thank you very much for asking that question. In fact, let me see if I can throw this logo up here real quick, because it's beautiful. Starting, share. I can find it. Akusaneb is the Neterian translation of light being wellness. I need my glasses to see little letters. I don't know if it's on my phone. I think I could switch it over there though. Akusaneb, high res JPEG. There it is. Open it up. And I think I could send it to my phone. Sometimes the internet works for me and some doesn't. Imagine all the knowledge lost. Yes, it's sad when you think about it, but the thing is, it's in our DNA. It's not lost, it's hidden. And this practice is called Shatau Neter, means hidden divinity. Okay, there it is. It means hidden divinity. Uh-oh, where did it go, TikTok? So we can access it. Okay, great. So there it is. Okay. I'm getting close, guys. Done. Share. Which one I want to share? I want to share a window. There it is. Okay. So this is the logo, or where'd it go? Stop sharing. Share the thing. This is the, it's funny to call it a logo, the symbol. Uh-oh. What did you do now? Is it sharing already? Share. Oops, no, not that. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's not letting me share it now. Edit. Uh-oh, nope. Well, I almost had it. I'm sorry. I was trying to share it. I think I can do it here though. Maybe it'll let me come back to it. Nope, not there. Okay, yeah, it must. Oh, there it is. Oh, of course, on TikTok, it makes it too big. Man, can you see it there, Renitris? Because it says that I'm sharing. But the window, maybe the window is behind me. Nope, I don't see the window. Okay, well, I will include it somewhere. Anyway, as I was saying, whatever I was saying, the mystical experience, the difference between Kemetic and Hindu principles, as far as principles, the Kemetic tradition allows you to experience the mysticism for yourself. You can't see it. Okay. Okay, yeah, I don't know why. It says it's sharing. Share screen. Okay, well, I'm not going to keep trying. I was going to go ahead and talk about what I'm going to do next is one of the postures. I think every time I read from this scripture, I think I do the posture. But I'm going to do it anyway. And you can join me. I just can move my studio around without knocking it over. I'm not really dressed for it. I will just have some fun anyway, because this is a glimpse of what is to come. We had I had a little bit of the scripture reading with some music, right? Because these are ways that we can become closer to the divine. Is by chanting their name or making offerings of devotion or studying. That's the thing about God, as I said, her work is listen to the teachings, like when I was reading to you just now, or reading it yourself, reflecting on the teachings, and then acting on the teachings. Okay, so we listened, we did a little reflection, not that much, but a little reflection, and now we're going to take some action. So we're going to do the postures for God, as I said. I have on this skirt, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the whole thing. I have on my house, I can take off my house shoes. But in the very near future, we will be having I had my sister here. The Akusaneb reflective movement, meditation, yoga posture system. It's not really postures because we're moving. Okay, so the first one, oh gosh, you can't see my legs, can you? If I move it back. Move the light back. Don't break anything. Don't break it. So you can try it with me if you want to or not. So I'm going to recite the affirmation that goes along with it. I know sometimes when I can't remember God's next door, sometimes I draw a blank when I get nervous. So this is the wing pose of God, as I said. Your arms like the wings, take one foot forward, and you go down on one knee, and then all the way down. Sorry, YouTube, you can't see. Look, I said, I said, I'm intuitional wisdom, reconstitutor and healer. As I raise my arms and spread the air of my grandfather's shoe, I bring enlightenment. I'm the seat of wisdom and stability. Look, I said, I said. I bring enlightenment. Let's see. Oh, spread the wings of wisdom and intuition. Spread the wings of light and... Let me start again. I got nervous. This is why I haven't started teaching yet. Here we go. Look, I said, I said. I'm intuitional wisdom, healer and reconstitutor. With my wings, I spread the air of my grandfather's shoe. Spread the wings of light and light. Look, I said, I am I said. To you, a star who's been dismembered and put down. I come as rescuer and healer. Spread the wings of enlightenment and immortality. Look, I said. Yes, we're doing it while I'm looking at myself on the camera. Like, what are you doing? Okay. Then the next one is like a squat pose, but it's a throne of Aset. So you should do it sideways so you can see better. It's backwards. I'm so confused. Look, I said, I am I said, I'm the divine throne upon which rests my soul. I'm the abode of the enlightened spirit. I'm the seat of stability and rulership. Try in this direction. Look, I said, I am I said, I command all that I survey. I am strong, royal, wise, regal and secure. Look, I said, I am I said. Now we're going to go way down, all the way down. Look, I said, I am I said. I remain seated on my inner throne and I shall not be moved. Look, I said. It's getting warm in here. Turn on the heat. All right, and then the last one, the wing pose of Aset. Look, I said, I embrace and resurrect the Asar, universal soul. You've seen that poster of her where she has her wings? Look, I said, I am I said, with my wings I have the glorious power to embrace the Asar. I embrace the Asar and offer my protection, love, and wisdom. Loved am I, protected am I. Uh-oh. TikTok says I gotta do this. There we go. Loved am I, protected am I. Look who I said, and I embrace the Asar. Look, I said, oh, I said. All right, okay. That's it. Yeah, so when you start doing these three things, listen to the teachings, reflect on the teachings, take action on the teachings, you can become like Goddess Aset by studying her teachings and learn to move as she does with her wings. You have glorious power to resurrect the Asar. What is the Asar? The universal soul. And all these cosmic forces are within us. They're talking about you resurrecting your soul, resurrecting our soul. So it's a fabulous practice. And I would, I love to help you develop your own practice. I don't know what happened to the screen share, Renitris. It was working a minute ago, and now it's not. So sad about that, because I had the cosmic thing up there. Well, I will make sure that it's on the next one, because it's a beautiful logo, and I'm about to get t-shirts and bags and all of that merch for my little temple space, Asmadashi temple. I've turned down the heat. I'm hot now. It was so cold earlier. These propane heaters don't mess around. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you for being here. Good Rising TV. Thank you for tapping the screen, those of you on TikTok. And if any of my team members are here, I'm so glad to see you here. I just discovered yesterday that I have 12 team members. I didn't even know. And in the near future, I will be starting the classes, the subscription virtual temple membership with cosmic chimes and chanting, astrology, sound healing sessions, cosmic adorations, devotional wisdom. Devotional wisdom and music, teaching, studying the teachings, and like I write music right on the spot to the scriptures. It's really exciting for me, but I just had to get it more organized. And then I also have the spiral dance medicine wheel, which is for the 8 points on the wheel of the spiral dance, honoring the indigenous people of the 4 directions, the 4 directions, the 4 seasons, the 4 elements, the 4 aspects of being, to encourage the indigenous people of the 4 directions to return to their roots and come together and share the wisdom teachings according to the Hopi prophecy. At that time, we'll be able to come together as one, and I add and defeat Western imperialism and Caucasity. And then I will also start the Akusanab reflective yoga meditation posture system, like I just gave a little demonstration. We'll be doing that once a week. I have started teaching the class once a week here at the temple space on Fridays from 3 until 5. If you're in the Chicago area, hit me up and you can come join us. It's just kind of practice. Like you see, I still get nervous, but I'm getting better. And I'm going to start offering it to the public at a yoga studio here in the South Side and online as soon as, Aset says, okay, you're ready. Okay. So I also like to read a little bit about the spiritual practice. This is the Shatao Neteru, which means Hidden Divinity manual, and I'm putting one together for Asmataji Temple as well. Let's see, I think we read this part last time. Yeah, Uwashu and Shetty. We did the Proverbs. Listening, ritual, oh, this is perfect. Okay. I'll read from this little manual, this powerful manual. It may be small, but it's not little. This is also by Masa Raja. I believe it's out of print. You can no longer get this, which is why I'm going to be publishing the Asmataji Temple, Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds devotional manual in the near future. I keep saying near future. When they tell me to, when I'm told to, that's when it'll be ready. I don't have to do this work. It's just coming through me. That's what I have to keep reminding myself. So this is page 15, The Path of Divine Love. A beautiful illustration of a goddess. God is there, and one holding a sistrum, which I couldn't find earlier. I have one here that I was able to get at Abdu Temple. Yeah, Abydos is the name of the town, the Greek name, and the Kemetic name is Abdu. And I was able to get this from an artisan out there. Represents the jet pillar of Asar, the 3 upper chakras, Aritus, and it's got the goddess Aset at the heart. And then we have the handle for the lower chakras. Really beautiful. When you shake the sistrum, you are eliminating chaos. So we've got the goddess here with her sistrum, right? The Path of Divine Love, Scriptures, Pert and Heru, and Temple Inscriptions. 1, listening to the myth, get to know the divinity, empathize, romanticize. Number 2, ritual about the myth, offerings to divinity, propitiation, act like the divinity, chant the name of the divinity, sing praises of the divinity, divine singing. I also do divine dancing. Commune with the divinity. Number 3, mysticism. This is the part that religions, Uja, Orishabuni. Oh, it's great to see you here today. Yes, I was asking if we could have a comparative conversation about the Orisha and the Neteru. I just started reading from this page, so let me finish this page because it's really important. I was saying how most modern day religions of Western imperialism do not enable the practitioner to have a mystical experience, but the indigenous or aboriginal spiritual practices do, in my opinion. And what distinguishes them from this Neterian practice is you make offerings to the Orisha, and the Orisha shower you with blessings, or resolving obstacles or issues. And this is just my observation. I don't know if this is true. Maybe you can help me. But that's how you connect with the divinity. You make offerings and they respond. However, with the this Neterian practice, from as translated or interpreted by Dr. Maud Ashby, I realize that it's not handed down through us from generations, that we're just resurrecting this practice the same way that Aset and Nebet had resurrected Asar. This practice, when you make offerings to the divinity, you activate the divinity within you, and then you manifest, or you create, or you build. Oh, for definitely. Jesus Christ went to Egypt in his 20s. All the Greek plagiarists and hypocrites, they all did, and everything's credited to Plato and Socrates and Hippocratic oath is a bunch of hypocrites. All of those guys, they all went to Kemet. And it was called Kemet back then. It wasn't called Egypt until the Greeks colonized it and enslaved and changed everything. So we used the term Kemet. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That is so amazing. You speak only Spanish, but okay. Oh, I speak very little Spanish, so maybe we can help each other. Orisa Bunni says he's been, or she, I don't know, has been a Shemsu for about 8 years and jumped into Ifa to learn more about the energies calling you. That's amazing, because they're probably very similar energies, just different frequencies and vibrations. You possibly have an ancestor that had that practice. I know I have one ancestor that's Nigerian. Not one ancestor, but one of my great grandparents was Nigerian that came to the United States to fight civil war to end slavery. And I'm sure he must have been a Babalawo or something, because I'm drawn to it as well, to the Ifa, but not to the extent of joining a temple. I almost joined the Temple of Shango. But this is of all the practices I've been involved in, indigenous, aboriginal practices, this Neterian practice is the first one that allowed me to see my own egoism and taught me how to defeat it and control it. I'm having a challenge right now. I don't think I'm doing my best right now. I know I can do better, but at least I'm aware, right? So I wasn't even aware of this until like 2022. But yeah, I've been a Shemsu now for 2010, 14 years now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what distinguishes this practice from the Aboriginal indigenous practices that I'm aware of, these are the only ones I'm aware of, is this one empowers you to have your own mystical experience, empowers you to manifest and create without having to go through the priests. Like, the priests help us, the priests and priestesses have a purpose. However, we have to be able to bring out our own divinity, because we're also gods and goddesses. We're also priests and priestesses of our temples at home. We're just going to the temple there. We've got to have, you just got to. So mysticism, melting of the heart, dissolve into divinity, identify with the divinity. How can you do that if you're constantly dependent on someone else? You're looking outside of yourself. Like, I'm so grateful for the years I studied with Saber Mind, Saber Job. They have their pictures here. And I remember all the rituals and conferences and experiences that I had with them. However, just like in nature, when a baby bird flies the nest, they're on their way. You may never see your mom or dad again. To me, it's really sad, but yeah. I do plan to go back to the. Oh my goodness, Camilio says he loves my songs, and Orisha Bunmin says I could never give up Shatao Nectar. 100%. Same here. Never. Could never give it up. In fact, what I'm doing now is going back to my teachings that I studied at the beginning and reading them again and seeing them in a different light. And we're going to get to that after this page. Some more people are coming through here. More people are stopping through here. Thank you very much. Oops, where am I? Good rising, great awakenings. I say good rising because God is good, and the gods and goddesses are rising. The cosmic forces of nature are rising, and we're awakening to the truth. We're awakening. There we go. We're awakening to our hidden divinity. And I also want to thank you for tuning in, and I encourage you and appreciate those of you for tapping the screen. If you're on here, I really appreciate it if you could get. It sounds really bad. You could get up to 1,000 hearts. That's all I ask. If you could just tap the screen, I really appreciate it. Or share the live. All right. Uash Neter, or the path of divine love, is an essential element of Shatau Neter, or Neterianism, ancient African Kemetic spirituality. He has religion, but I say spirituality. Although the word religion means to repeat, but when you hear religion, when I hear religion, I just automatically think of the three major religions of Western imperialism. The practice of devotion to the divine is an integral part of the movement towards spiritual awakening and enlightenment. Devotion to and the repetition of the divine name is an integral part of the path of divine love, which encompasses the disciplines for promoting spiritual evolution by harnessing the feeling capacity of the human heart. That's another thing. There's a term called Sa'a, S-A-A. It means knowing with feeling. It's one thing to read something and know something. You can memorize it. However, you've got to tap into the feeling of it, like the heart. That's when you know it. They kind of say know it by heart, but I guess when you know it by heart, then it becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of your heart. So like these teachings, even though I don't have all these things memorized, I know them because it's in our DNA. It's in every human's DNA. I believe these teachings are so ancient that they're a part of us, and they're lying dormant. And we do these practices, you activate. It's like if you have seeds planted in soil, could have been there for years. And then one day it rains or you pour water on it and a plant grows. And you're like, where did these plants come from? It's because those seeds were dormant. That's the best explanation I have. The chanting and praising of the divine name. And remember earlier we were talking about Jed and not Renake, knowing the divine name of Ra. And if you're just tuning in on TikTok, you can always catch the replays at my YouTube channel. Is an integral part of the path of divine love, which encompasses the disciplines for promoting spiritual evolution by harnessing the feeling capacity of the human heart. The chanting and praising of the divine name is the process of uttering hekau, words of power, containing the name of the chosen divinity, being worshipped in a form of recitation and rhythmic repetition called hesi. And I'm a heset, a chantress. I'm a chanting priestess. And nobody told me that. I didn't get any certificate or anything. I just am. I didn't even know. I had no idea there was such a thing. But it's like it was lying dormant in me, and it was activated by these studies and wisdom teachings. I sure am disappointed that I'm not able to share my screen right now because that would be so cool. But it's just not happening. Okay. Divine singing makes use of musical forms to intensify the divine feeling experience. Music has a profound effect on the unconscious mind. Have you wondered at the fact that you may forget things and events of the past, but if you hear a song from that time, the feelings come back? And that's why my mission or purpose is to put the teachings of the Neteru, the book of the dead, where'd it go? The book of coming forth by day. I would like to, before my days on earth is over, is have a song for every verse in this book. It's not like there's a lot of discourse in here and definitions. It's not that thick. And that's my goal. And when that guy stole my harp, he just like broke my heart. But when I have that's why I write the songs, because that's how I remember the teachings. And then they become a part of me, and it becomes easier to repeat them and to learn them and for them to activate within me and for me to become more and more like them. That's why I do the cosmic chimes and chanting. I play the chimes that correspond to the Neter's celestial arrangement, and I chant the names and their qualities and as characteristics, and nobody else is doing that right now. So it's really powerful. That's on my Kemetone Sound Healing YouTube channel. Feeling has more staying power than thoughts, but without thought, wisdom, feelings degrade to the level of sentimental blind faith. All right, so that's the problem with music. That's the problem with the powers of the world, powers that be. There's no spiritual foundation. There's no spiritual truth to what they're spewing out, because they're not talking about Ma'at. How can you talk about justice and you're not upholding Ma'at? The music of today, you're talking about physical love, but the one's talking about spiritual love. You know about the religious love of one of the avatars. It was created by Western imperialism when they were overpowering all indigenous relations, and I'm referring to Christianity. We know so much about that avatar, whose life was based on the life of Apollonius of Tyana, not some entity called Jesus, whose life is based, his myth is based on the life of Heru. But I digress. But those religions, they don't empower you to attain enlightenment. They empower you to become more materialistic, maybe get a better job, get a corporate position, so that what? You can give more money to these religious institutions. But you're not transforming your own life. You're not transforming the lives of your loved ones. You're not transforming the lives of your children, but you're transforming the lives of the priests and priestesses of that particular religion, or the ones that go to the point of war and bloodthirst and greed to become a superpower. All three of the major religions of Western imperialism got to where they are by use of force. Nope, they used force. And then the descendants are so fearful of leaving that they just perpetuate the lies and brutality. Yeah. So, music is used to feel the teaching and allow it to have a more profound effect on the personality. The disciplines of the path of divine love are designed to purify the heart, allow a human being to come closer to the divine, and eventually become one with the divine. And Goddess Aset left specific instructions. I offered this song earlier today, which is her instructions put to music. I described to you how eventually it's going to be this amazing Afro-Cuban song with percussion, acoustic bass, me on the keyboards, not on a keyboard, a piano, playing the botunos, right? And the guitar. We're going to have someone playing the vibraphones, someone playing the blaring horn section. Can you imagine how powerful that song's going to be? It's going to be amazing. I actually have 3 or 4 comedic reggae songs. I just need to get them recorded. Anyway, I'm digressing. But I just wanted to reiterate the reason why Asmataji Temple and Life Being Wellness is so powerful and so important is because it puts wisdom teachings to music. All of my songs, my reggae songs, my world music songs before I was into Kemet, they're wisdom teachings of the 4 directions put to music. These are wisdom teachings that I studied and lived by during my healing and spiritual journey over the past 40 years. Every song I have is a wisdom teaching that changed my life. And it's so unfortunate that hardly anybody knows about it. People want to know, why am I sad or depressed or frustrated? It's because it's my mission to put out this music, but I don't know how to sell to people. I don't know how to market it. And so I'm perpetually frustrated. People say, oh, you just need to meditate more, or you need to be more positive affirmations, or you need to work on your root chakra, or you need to do this. I was like, I've done all of that, and it's gotten to me where I am right now. I need to learn how to fulfill my mission, destiny, and purpose. If you want to see me like happy and thriving and out of the survivor mode of all the crap that I've been through because of my RU, we didn't talk about RU today. lately I've been feeling like my RU is so effed up. Uh, you know, I must have been like a mass murderer in a past life or something. Like why is it so? It's so like this. And then people say, "Oh, well, it's not you. It's the world. It's the way the world is. There's nothing wrong with you. There's things wrong with the world." And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I'm digressing, but I hope that somebody resonates or that means something to you. Okay. There are 3 important stages in the process of cultivating Neteru. I had to pause because I never made this connection, but the name and the namesake my mom gave to me. Uja, thank you for the love and for tuning in. I read Neteru as Mary Maati. I never knew that divine love was in my name. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you tapping the screen. It means a lot. I never knew that my Kemetic name, my Neterian name, has divine love in it. Arit is she who makes musical offerings to her. Neteru is her tutelary divinity, which is Aset and Ma'at and Merit, and so I have a whole list of them. And then Mary Ma'ati is beloved by the dual goddesses of Ma'at, but Neter as Mary is divine love. Listening to the mythic teaching, practicing the ritual of the myth, and entering into the metaphysical, mystical reality of the myth. That means when you're reading the myth, like we read the myth of Aset, you put yourself in the role of Aset. You're the one who made the Tappy Shepsi to poison Ra so that you would force him. She basically blackmailed creation. She did, like that's basically what she did. She said, either you tell me your name or you're going to die. Wow. What other tradition will teach you that? They always say don't put conditions on things when you're making your offerings and things like that. But isn't that what she did? And laughed in his face. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put on a skit and I'm going to act out this scene because it is just too funny. It's too funny. Somebody said when I was teaching my band a song, they said I could do stand-up comedy by telling these stories. And I never really figured out what they meant, but now I see what they mean. I could teach these myths with my music and make it a comedy. And more people would listen because it's so funny. But she literally blackmailed creation, said, you either tell me how I can become a goddess or it will be the end of creation. So she wasn't saying it would be the end of her. She said it would be the end of creation as we know it. How much power is that? And she says we can do the same thing. We have the same ability. So that's why I like doing these things. I'm so appreciative because I always learn something when I'm sitting here blabbing and reading these stories to you. I had to separate it from the divine offerings because I would be in the middle of a divine moment chant and then I'd get this funny story in my head and then I would just blurt it out, and my preceptors were saying you can't have personal commentary when you're doing these offerings. You got to just da-da-da-da-da. And I didn't know how because it's such a part of my nature. And I wasn't able to just like chat with people. So that's why I'm doing this way. And then I'm going to add the devotional aspect. I am so glad. I don't know the last time I read the introduction to this manual. Maybe like 12 years ago have I actually read this part. I'm getting chills. The practice of daily devotional chant, divine singing, and divine worship are integral, though not confined, to the second stage of the path of divine love. In the Kemetic teaching of devotional love, God is termed Mary, beloved one. The aspirant is the beloved. And here's a quote from the Neteru, and I'm getting emotional right now. That person, the aspirant, is beloved by the Lord. Neteru, chapter 4. And why am I getting emotional? Because What is the Neterian name for North, Central, and South America? Mary, Ta Mary, beloved land. That's why we refer to this as Tamerica, and why we're claiming our Aboriginal Tamerican identity. Yeah, I'm getting chills. Okay. Okay, so the next thing in the book, maybe I'll save it for next week, next strength, because it's divine offering, and that's the offering that you make at the beginning of a spiritual session. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I do this divine offering, which is very powerful. And then sometimes I do the one for the portal opening. It depends on what kind of work I'm doing. If I'm doing sound healing or ancestral, like my ancestral lineage, I do the portal opening where you open the 4 directions. You address the 4 directions. You act as Anpu, basically. You are Anpu. And in this divine offering, opening prayer, you make offerings to Anpu. So you see there's a very subtle difference. And they're both valid. They're both powerful. But at Asmataji Temple, we do both. That's all. It's nothing wrong. It's just because this is also a healing temple. It's not just a devotional temple. On a side note, I'm going through the process of my 508c1a status for Asmataji Temple, which is similar to the 501c3. However, it's for a spiritual faith-based organization. So in a special category. And Illinois denied my sales tax exemption because it said I'm not having meetings in a physical place, and I wasn't during COVID. And when I was living somewhere else because of a gas bill dispute here, I wasn't having them in person. But now that I'm back here, I'm starting to have them in person. And it said I'm not trying to convert anyone. And I thought about it. I said, well, it's a healing temple, so I'm converting people to natural health. So I'm about to reapply. Okay, so the last thing I like to read or discuss during these Good Rising TV sessions is a reading from this book, Cosmic Science of the Ancient Masters by Professor Hilton Hotema. Good Rising, Great Awakenings, God and Goddesses Rising. Thank you for tuning in and for tapping the screen on TikTok. Professor Hilton Hotema is or was a quote-unquote American or quote-unquote white guy who at some point along his journey realized in his past life he had been a Black African Kemetic priest in ancient Kemet. I'm sure many people have. I know the Egyptologists are, but they don't recognize that it's Aboriginal Black melanated spiritual practice. That's what separates him from his other white counterparts, like Butch. So this was the first spiritual series of books that I was reading. At the time, I didn't know anything about Kemet or ancient African spirituality. I didn't know anything. I don't think I even knew about my Native American ancestry. I didn't know my Nigerian ancestry. I just was leaving that world of academia. So I didn't understand his code because he speaks in code. He doesn't spit out the teachings. He refers to them. And I didn't have the teachings. But now when I read it, I'm like, wow, I know exactly what he means. So I find that his level of wisdom teaching is useful when you're trying to speak to people that are still caught up in Western imperialism and Caucasian. They're still brainwashed. They're still conditioned to be involved in a religion that declares war against humanity on every level. And then when you're involved in their religion, you succeed in, okay, they're saying I'm restricted for some audiences. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Okay, yeah. I guess TikTok didn't like me for saying that word. I've got to do better about that. Can't say certain words on here. I think I'm in jail for 10 minutes. Oh, somebody says they can still hear me. Thank you. Okay. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and get to this. Chapter 7, No Death. Is this familiar? Because I lost my page marker. Yeah, because we did that one last time. Yeah, okay. Chapter 7, There is no death. And look at the imagery there he has. He has 5-pointed star. He has the Caduceus and something that looks like a sphinx. So he's still, European American, but he has this other awareness that I really value and appreciate. He's got some great books. Please, if you're in that state of transition, check out Mystery Man of the Bible by Professor Hilton Otema. He will break it all down. We'll break it all down for you, and you will not go back to church, I assure you, because he exposes the lies, and he has receipts. I had a copy of that book, but my library was stolen when I moved from California to Chicago. Okay. Quote, if a man die, shall he live again? Unquote. Job 14:14. So I like him because he has quotes from the Bible. I don't read the Bible anymore, but he draws it to the comparative analysis to the Persian root. That burning question rises with the dawn of the race and was answered by the ancient masters. Now, who are the ancient masters? The ancient masters of Kemet or Neterian or Tamari, the aboriginal masters of the spiritual traditions of the galaxy and Sirius and enlightenment, right? The ancient masters. By death, in this case, is meant the total extinction of man when his physical body ceases its function. The spiritual intuition of man declares there is no death. Spiritual intuition is what? Goddess Aset. The soul of man, and who's the soul of man? The universal soul, Asar. The soul of man rejects the theory. Wait, I need more light. Wait, where is it? I brought a little flashlight. These glasses work great, but you need light. And right now the light is not helping me, not hitting me. So I'm going to get a flashlight. Okay, here we go. The soul of man rejects the theory of annihilation advanced by modern science. Man universally harbors the hope of a future life. The expectancy of immortality characterizes both the savage and the savant. As those intuitions of man are universal, they are natural. Nature, that's Neteru. The word nature comes from the Neters. Natural impulses imply a natural law of fulfillment. A natural desire that is universal portends a natural means of its accomplishment. Universal tendencies are obviously based upon universal principles. Man is not an object foreign to the universe. He is an integral part of it and is ruled and affected by universal laws exactly the same as are all other parts of the universe. He is the product of cosmic elements and cosmic forces, the Neteru. He is the product of cosmic elements and forces exactly the same as are all other existing things. Let me just take a pause here. And that is the power of the meditation technique. That's the other offering I'll be making is the Hesiu Neteru meditation technique, vibrations of the Neterus, of the gods and goddesses. I'm finishing up that book. This is what was downloaded to me after the green flash sunrise I experienced October 17th, 2022. They call them the platonic solids, but they're ideal solids. They're the sphere, the Merkaba, which is the double pyramid and a 6-pointed star, 3D, the dodecahedron. It looks like a soccer ball, but 5 sides. I'm trying to learn the names. Hexagon, which is an 8-sided. Is it hexagon? Excuse me. Woo. Hectagon. the eight-sided. It's a diamond, two pyramids put together at the base. Then the tetrahedron, which is a three-sided pyramid, the three pyramids and the bottom. I'm working on it. It'll be in the book, and I'm hiring someone to make the video. Then the icosahedron is a 20-pointed star, and then the cube. It came to me that this is how Khepri created, by using these ideal solids, and he called out the names of the cosmic forces, the Neteru. He chanted, and at a certain frequency, because each cosmic force has a different frequency. And so by doing this meditation technique, do the chakras, the aritus, the solfeggio frequencies, the ideal solids, and the corresponding deities to each chakra, to each frequency, to each ideal solid, we can manifest. So combining the meditation with the Akusana reflective movement meditation posture system, there we are. And then we have our spiritual practice to transform ourselves into a god or goddess. So it's very powerful. And the only reason I'm not further along with my practice is because I'm obsessed with sharing it with other people. I was like, what's the point of me just doing this on my own and perfecting it while the rest of the world is falling apart? Until all of us are free, none of us are free. Until all of us are fed, none of us are hungry. And some teachers or practitioners are just fine knowing that the people that have money to pay them have access to these teachings, and they don't really care about the rest of the world. That's my impression of it. Not that we don't deserve to be compensated, but anyway. Okay, we're almost done. He is the product of the cosmic elements and cosmic forces, exactly the same as are all other existing things. In common phenomenon of nature, in the ebb and flow of the tides, the waxing and waning of the moon, the changes of the seasons, the growth and dissolution of vegetation, the disintegration of the various bodies, the ancient masters saw the law of cyclicity, and as to man, they termed it born again. Okay, now here's a side note. What is my birth name? Stacy, which comes from Anastasia, which I translated into Hebrew, Takia or Tachia. It means rise again, rebirth, renewal, regeneration, rejuvenation, and resurrection. So, and then my middle name was Allison. I translated to Amet, truth. So, it's fascinating. I said this would be the last one. This is the last one. It's so hard to stop. With the seasonal dissolution, death of plants, and their recurrent rebirth in the spring, they beheld the resurrection of nature, a universal immortality in all living things, including man, the most exalted creature on earth. In the regular journey of the planets, the sun, moon, and the stars, the ancient masters discovered the infallible laws of nature, the Neteru, and the existence of a universal order, Ma'at, pervading all things. They applied these laws to man. For all visible bodies are made of the same universal elements by the same universal creative principle. See, when you combine the ideal solids with the chants and the Neteru in different proportions and quantities, like the different elements, they're all just building blocks. One will have two protons, one will have three neutrons, one will have da-da-da. Even those are different arrangements of the ideal solids, frequencies, chakras, correspondences, etc., colors, crystals, herbs, like all of these correspondences is all based on these building blocks of the ideal solids and the frequencies and the chants and the postures and the devotion. It all comes together. So like Renicius was asking, how does this practice differ from Hindu practice? This practice that's coming together at Asmajishi Temple is to empower us to create as a god or goddess, to live as a god or goddess, to become a god or goddess, to manifest as gods and goddesses, rather than taking our money to priests and priestesses at temples, and then the gods and goddesses shower us with blessings. We are the blessing. We are the currency. We shouldn't have to pay to find our to access our divinity. Maybe you have to pay to study with a teacher for a while, or you have to pay for the book. But eventually, you're going to put the book down. Eventually, you're not going to be going back to the classes until at least you've mastered where you are. With the Temple of Asset class I was in, when I started, there was like, I think 12 levels. And I was like, okay, when I'm done with level 12, I'm going to leave the temple, take a break for a while. But they kept adding more lessons. There was no end. I said, well, I'm just going to leave after 8 because, there's no end. There's no, okay, you've taken these classes and now you can move on with your life. You should get to the point where you don't need the classes. But then you can always go back. But I don't know. It's just a cycle. It's a cycle. And they say it's not about the money. They always say that. I'm just getting a little frustrated. I'm going to stop soon. The elements of which water, grass, and trees are made are the same, and spring from the same source as those of which man's body is made. The same creative principles perform the work in all instances in the same way under the same law. Then it follows by logic and reason that under the law of cyclicity and the law of analogy, man is as eternal and immortal as all the rest of nature. In fact, as matter is eternal and indestructible, life could not be less. Because everything is energy. Everything is frequency and vibration. It cannot be created nor destroyed. Lucky girl Lakshmi was lucky to be named after a Hindu goddess Lakshmi. Yes, the goddess of love and beauty and abundance and mothering. I know this chant Shreem Brazi. We did that on I guess we do that today because it's a Neterian devotion. It's not Kemetic devotion. But I learned this chant, Shreem Brazi, which is to activate your brain to open it up to wealth and abundance. And it really works. I learned about it from Baba Pillai Center. And he's the one that taught me about Muruga, the power of Muruga, the protection. And they all have a Kemetic correspondence. For example, Lakshmi is Neteru. Muruga is that Heteru? Yeah, I would say so. Muruga has got the funniest stories. Okay, I'm going to stop with this one. And I'm going to tell you this story about Muruga. It is so funny. I found these movies online. I don't know if they're still up there. I will post the link, Lucky Lakshmi, because it is so funny. You've seen someone doing that here on TikTok. Oh yes, there's a guy on here that does Shreem Brazi for like hours. He just chants Shreem Brazi and you can chant along with him. It's Shreem Brazi. That's it exactly, Lucky Girl Lakshmi. The story of Muruga, I saw, there's 2 really good movies on YouTube and they have the subtitles and they're so funny. They are so, okay, so I'm just going to tell one story. Okay, so his parents, correct me if I'm wrong, is Shiva and I'm gonna have to look it up because I'm drawing a blank. Who is Muruga's mother? Muruga's mother. Oh, it's right here. They must have heard me. Who is Muruga's mother? Parvati. That's it. Parvati and Shiva. Oh, but in the Tamil tradition, it's often identified as Koravai. Man, I gotta find those movies. Kartikeya is another name for Muruga's mother. Okay, this is a short, funny story. All right, so Muruga's older brother is Ganesh, okay, who's the remover of obstacles, the elephant-headed deity. And one of Shiva's, like his number one homie, I don't know what the term is. Here's another comment. Thank you, sister. When I learned that I was, okay. She was talking. Orisha Bunmia, I am not sure if I should refer to you as a male or female, Sen or Senti. Anyway, so his homeboy, number one, had brought him a mango because they'd never seen a mango. I don't know. I don't know how old the story is, how old Shiva is, like the beginning of creation. I don't know, but so I'm going to give him a mango, and it was a joke, because they knew that they didn't know what it was. They didn't know how to open it, but they said, "Oh, it's delicious fruit, and just take it." And she was like, "I don't know how to open this thing," so he gave it to Parvati. He says, "Here, you open it." And she was like, "I don't know what to do with this." They didn't want to, appear like they didn't know, because they're like, the main gods and main god and goddess, and they didn't want to show their devotees that they didn't know what it was. So they said, "I know it. Let's give it to one of our sons. Let's give it to the son, the first one who can go all the way around creation and back. Whoever gets here first will win this mango." I'm cracking up already. So Ganesh is like, "All right, I'm going to get on my magic carpet. I'm going to fly around the entire world." So he takes off, and Muruga goes to his teacher. I apologize, I do not remember their names, but I can see the pictures from the movie. But Brahma, the one that has 4 heads, and says, "My wise teacher." "Yes, Muruga. Isn't it true that my mother and father are the creator of the universe? They represent the entire world of creation?" He says, "Yes, this is true, Muruga." He says, "So is it not true that if I walk around my mother and father, it's the same as if I'm walking around all of creation?" And before Brahma could say anything, Muruga just walked around his mother and father. Says, "There, I walked around all of creation. Give me the mango, mother." And they were like, "Huh?" And then Ganesh comes back. "Oh, I'm back. I just traveled all around the world." And Muruga says, "Oh, big brother, I am sorry to inform you that I have already traveled around the entire world, and I win the mango." Thank you for those of you tuning in. We're talking about the Neterus of creation today. At this moment, we're talking about some of the Hindu gods and goddesses from the Tamil tradition. That's interesting. Topic. Tamil, that's like talking about the south side of Chicago. That's where the Black people are. They were the aboriginals to the Hindus. Way south. Way, 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 way south. And if you look at the movie, they have Tamil people in the movie. They didn't hire bleached actors and actresses like they do when the Egyptologists make movies about ancient Kemet. So I'm going to make a note for Lucky Lakshmi, and I make this video when I find the movies, because the last time I went to watch the movie, they had taken it down. And I was like, no way have they taken down my favorite 2 Muruga movies. They have to be there. And I have not taken the time to find them. So this is a really good note for me to end this broadcast on, because I did get emotional today talking about Mary, finding out that I have divine love in my name, and making the analogy to Tamari and Tamarica. Where are the Muruga movies, and what is it at Lucky Girl Lakshmi? Okay, Lucky Girl Lakshmi, and I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna post it. Well, not the whole movie, but I'm gonna post a clip of the movie, and then you can find it. I learned so much from those 2 movies. They're so funny, though. That's why I'm inspired to act out the comedic myths with comedy, because I don't think anybody's doing that. Do you? With my music as the screen, what's soundtrack, right? With the comedic devotion music, with the chants and the solfeggio frequencies and the celestial frequencies, and well, I have the rest of my life to do this, right? Because I'm so youthful. Comedic comedy, I mean, that would get everybody's attention, even though it's Neterian. So, anyways, I'm going to take a pause from Good Rising TV. Thank you for joining me today and for tuning in. I see some of you have been here for a very long time. Yes, I'm going to do that, lucky girl Lakshmi. I'm going to do that. Yes, I'm going to do that. This is Tachia Ahmet El Ma'at. I read Neteru Esmeri Ma'at. Let's see, what am I? Shims Arit. Most people know me as Shims Arit. And then you're from Uruguay. Oh, I have not been there yet. I would love. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Orishabunmi is Senti. I would like to go to Uruguay. One of my passions is to look for proof of ancient proof of ancient Kemet in America. No, looking for proof of Aboriginal Neterian practices in America. And I've been to Brazil, Ecuador, Peru, Belize, and of course Mexico. However, I've not been to Uruguay. So maybe you can enlighten me on some places to go looking for proof of ancient Aboriginal Neterian traditions in your country. For those of you on TikTok who are just tuning in and you're curious about what I've been rambling about for an hour and a half, you can always find the replay at my YouTube channel. And I will be back tomorrow evening for a full moon sound shower. I don't call it sound bath because I don't have gongs. I have chimes. So it's like a little shower. I don't know what time. And then, of course, next strength. I don't like to say week. It's next strength. I'll be back for Tamarican Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, and the Neterian Devotion on Thursday. One thing I forgot to mention is that on the Dogon Sirius Sidereal calendar published by the Earth Center, here's their app. You can buy the calendar, but I just use the app now. We've entered into the month of Atiri. This is day number 6 of Atiri. And what is Atiri? Oh, it's not going to tell me on this one. You have to pay for the you have to pay for the subscription. And I have it on my other phone. But Atiri is the month of Selkat, the scorpion goddess. So during this time, in 30 days, this is day 6. During this time, you focus on what does Selkat represent at Asmataji Temple in the Neterian tradition? Defeating the ego. Yesterday, if you watched the transmission from yesterday, I did a sound shower for the Neteru as they were arranged by their celestial alignments. And it was a lot about Selkat defeating the ego. Selkat causes pain for the fetters of Set. Selkat stings when fetters of Set appear. Selkat protects the higher self and safe and secure from the lower personality, things like that. And then in the Western tradition, of course, Scorpio is known as the month of desire, your desire. So you want to purify your desires so that they'll manifest the way you want them to, rather than, if you have doubt or fear, those will manifest in your manifestation. And we don't want that. We don't want that. In fact, I believe that what's going on with me is the reason my manifestation is taking so long is because I have doubt and fear from my trauma. And that takes me to the root chakra. That's the work I was doing yesterday. And unless you're working on your root chakra on a basis, you can get out of balance. And then you can literally manifest the exact opposite of what you intended. But Set left us the tools so that we can learn and transform ourselves. Gods and goddesses rising. That's what I mean when I say good rising. Cosmic forces awakening, activating within ourselves. Thank you for tapping the screen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for my team members who are here today and those of you on YouTube who are always here to keep me company. Thank you so much, Cosmic Sun Souls, for just tuning in. Thank you. You can watch the replay if you want to. Yes. Okay. So I'll see you if you want to tune in on YouTube. It'll be on the Kinetones Cosmic Sound Healing channel. I'll be going live. I don't know what time. When I do those other ones, they're going to be random because life is unpredictable. Let me tell you, it's so difficult for me to be ready to go at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. I don't know why. And then I have classes I do, and oh, thank you so much for the roses. So many things going on in the evening, so that by the time the live streams are over at 9:30, I have time to do a few chores. Oh, and you joined my team, do all these things. And before you know it, it's time for me to get ready for my evening activity. And I'm like, what happened? I was going live and now it's time to leave. So when I do the other live streams, they're going to be kind of random. Like when I start the subscriptions, they're going to be random. I can't guarantee I'll be ready to go, every time. And it's, oh my goodness, do a tap. Let me put my glasses on so I can see who this is. Oh, it goes so fast. Let's see, that was Queen's Knowledge. Thank you, Queen's Knowledge. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Yes, I've been sharing the Queen Aset's knowledge today at the best of my ability. So look forward to these classes. I am really happy that I finally got to the point where I'm ready to teach. I feel like I had to go through all of that to get to this point where I could start teaching. Not because I'm a master or an expert or that I'm making $300,000 a day from tapping on people's TikTok pages or whatever. But just because this has been my spiritual journey, my healing journey, and I can feel it working. I'm still breathing, so obviously it's had a positive impact on my life, because there were times when I did not want to take another breath. It was too painful. And we talked about yesterday, why is it painful? Why do we feel pain over situations or thoughts or events? It's because our ego is wanting us to stay in the situation, and our real personality is ready to transcend. And the ego is like, no, stay here, stay miserable. And so, we have to choose between the ego and the real personality. And unfortunately, it's easier to choose our weakness than it is to choose our strength. And why is that? Because that's what we're here to learn on earth. We're here to learn how to choose our royal personality, choose our divinity. And I'm rambling again. Thank you so much, Queen's Knowledge. You have really going out with on a high frequency. Let me see. Say not to look at this. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. And if you're interested in what I was talking about today, you can find a replay on the Chia Ahmet music channel. And I'll be back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for another episode of Good Rising TV, which means we're raising our vibrations, we're raising our frequencies, and the gods and goddesses are rising. It doesn't mean the sun rises, because the sun doesn't rise, the earth is turning. Thank you. I could go on and on and on, but I've got to, I have belly dance class this evening, so I have to do all this stuff so I can be ready to go. Oh, speaking of my belly dance class, I finally received the video of my first dance recital since I was 7 years old, the Egyptian belly dance class, and I will be posting that soon too. Thank you so much. Do a hatap. Yes, ashe, and so it is. Hatap. Dua. It doesn't want me to leave. There we go. Switch to sub only live. Ooh. Okay, Dua so much. Oh, Jehuti was here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Jehuti. Kimin. Oh, you told me Jed. Oh, I say Jed K. And I'm going to look into the Medu Neter fonts. And you were here last time. I'm going to be working on that assignment about the second moon I had some paperwork with deadlines and I wasn't able to get to it yet, but I've turned it in. So if you see Brother Patrick on here, you let him know that I will be posting that very soon. Do a hatep. Thank you. Oh, I got my first